was 600 million tons of, I think, sugarcane waste is going on annually.
Let's take India, for instance, which is probably the second or first largest producer of sugarcane. What happens currently with the sugarcane waste is that 50 or 70% of that waste, depending on the region or even in the factory, to generate energy for the mills. And then out of the remaining 30%, which is still a huge number, some part of that is sold to paper making factories.
Why did you choose this?
And then you still have a lot that is left over. Now we're focusing on that amount that's left over, and we want to turn that into sugar blocks that you then use to build affordable houses in regions where this waste is abundantly available.
Hi Luchi, thanks for coming to my podcast, and I'm so glad to have you here, like a researcher, mainly as part of from the SUGARCRETE team, which you people really transformed trash to treasure. Literally, I think so.
I like that.
Yeah, it's really, yeah. It in fact was 600 million tons of I think sugarcane waste is going on annually.
2 billion tons of sugarcane is produced every year, and out of that, 1/3 is waste. So it's about 600 million tons.
600 million tons of sugarcane wasting
Yes.
annually.
Yes.
So thanks for coming to my podcast.
Thank you so much.
How are you? How good? You good?
Honestly, I feel so blessed. Thank you so much, Steph, for giving me this opportunity to be here and once again talk about the wonderful project that we're doing with SUGARCRETE and of course the University of East London. And I'm just so grateful of the growth that the university has done so far since joining them in 2013 till now, studying Masters Architecture, Bachelor's and then Masters of Architecture with them, and then now being a researcher. I'm doing my PhD in this wonderful project, so it's a blessing.
Yeah, it's absolutely blessing for everyone who is studying in the university. Explain a bit about yourself and your background. Yeah, that's
where do I even start? Okay. So I feel like I've been at the University of East London forever. Well, I've been here for over 10 years now. I joined the University of East London in 2013 as, just doing my bachelor's in architecture.
Okay, you started bachelor's here?
Yes.
Oh my god, you're a researcher right now. That's so insane.
I'm University of East London's baby, essentially.
Yeah.
So I did my bachelor's, I completed in 2016. Then almost immediately I started working and took some years out, still worked, and then came back in 2021 to do my master's in architecture. And then that's my tutor then was Armor Vitierex, who's also one of the co-creators of
You remember right now?
I remember everything. I mean, he's my colleague now, from tutor to colleague and of course forever mentor. So I admire my colleagues so much. And I did my master's. I think during the time I was doing my master's in 2021, that's when the university was doing the construction week, which is something that they normally do for master's students anyway. They do it at the beginning of the academic year, I think for like 4 weeks perhaps. And the reason why they do this construction week is to give the students the opportunity to intensely work on a particular subject and hopefully come up with something innovative that they can then implement during the whole academic year. So at the time, Armor and obviously the other co-creators as Alan, Chandler and Baghdad Ayati, they decided to work with sugarcane waste because there's plenty of it, right? And at the time, the whole thing was not even called SUGARCRETE. It was just something experimental. And then we had, here you have master students of architecture that are very eager to do some experiments and see what comes out of this.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it was like trying a new recipe. We mixed a bunch of things together and boom, we just eventually discovered that this was an amazing product that was just locking carbon for potentially many, many years. And, I saw the potential and I said to myself, I'm going to implement this in my master's, in my thesis. And I did. I won I was nominated for the River Skin Thinking Award and for the Architects Journal Sustainability Award as well because of this material. And eventually, when I graduated from my master's in 2023, I said to my mentors and tutors that I would love to keep working for this project. And then eventually they directed me, and from then I became a research assistant. And then I decided, you know what, I want to be an expert in this material. And that's how I decided to start my PhD in 2004. That's it.
That's
And I'm
great.
here.
That's great, yeah. Can this be done with other materials? Or like just a sugarcane?
It can be done with other agro waste materials, absolutely. I mean, we started with sugarcane waste because obviously you have the waste already available in enormous quantities, literally mountains.
Yeah, it's most of them is wasting, right?
Yes. So what happens currently with the sugarcane waste is that, let's take India for instance, which is probably the second or first largest producer of sugarcane. 50 or 70% of that waste, depending on the region or even in the factory, is used, burnt to generate mills, to generate energy for the mills. And then out of the remaining 30%, which is still a huge number, some part of that is sold to paper making factories to make paper packaging or, I don't know, disposable plates, for instance. And then you still have a lot that is left over. Now we're focusing on that amount that's left over, and we want to turn that into sugar beet blocks that you then use to build affordable houses in regions where this waste is abundantly available. Then the whole idea, right, because you want a circular economic type of philosophy, is that at the end of life of these buildings made from sugarcane waste, sugarcrete, you can recycle them, right? And then use it to build new homes or crush them to make new bricks.
Okay.
That's the idea.
That's the idea.
Yes. So, but essentially, this philosophy can be used for other agro-waste material like banana or coconut shells, anything really. It's a similar, but obviously, depending, every fiber is different. Banana fiber is different from sugarcane fiber, so it would have to be tested several times. But
so why did you choose this instead of banana and all everything?
We chose this because you just have so much waste, so much sugarcane waste. If you go to India, in the regions where they grow sugarcane, you literally, and I'm kidding you not, mountain.
No, I'm from India. I know how sugarcane will be.
Mountains, Everest.
Yeah, I know.
Of sugarcane waste.
Yeah.
And it's causing so much pollution,
Exactly.
because obviously the problem is there and it's so evident, right in front of our faces. So why not just do something about it rather than focusing on another waste material anyway? It's just right there. Let's just do it. And besides, we quickly gained the attention of sugarcane plantation owners in India. And in fact, one of our current partners approached us still back in 2023. And with them, we eventually created our first building prototype, which is a school extension in Noida, India.
Yeah. Where did you see SUGARCRETE in next 5 years? And also yourself?
Straight to the point. I like that. I think so. My hope for SUGARCRETE, and I'm almost certain, but again, I leave this open because you never know. But I think that SUGARCRETE has a lot of potential. And I'm not saying this because I'm doing a PhD in it or because I'm a researcher. I'm saying it with the mind of the young master's student that just started, and saw this bunch of waste and literally was just eager to do something with it. I'm saying it with that spirit, right, in me right now. And I think it has so much potential because it's solving a problem that's very, depressing, And I think that if the government, especially governments of the regions that have this waste in abundance, if they can work with us, we can work with the university and the research team, we can get to the point where we can encourage the community to view this product as something that can be used to build a befitting building where you can happily live and make a home. Mm-hmm. I think if we all work together and we work hard with intentionality, that's where SUGARCRETE will be in the next 5 years. being used as probably the main material for buildings in those areas. Maybe small size buildings still. I think it's very possible.
So I think this is a more lighter than the brick of soil, right?
I think they are lighter than concrete bricks, definitely. But then again, it depends. See, the thing with sugarcrete, it's an ever changing material. And the reason why I say this is that depending on the formula that you use, the pressure that you use in casting the brick, right, you can obtain a product that is completely different, that goes from an insulation board to a load-bearing brick. So depending on the application you want to use sugarcrete for, you can basically change the formulation and the pressure with which you use to make it. And of course, it depends obviously on the region as well when we're building it. So the sugarcrete we make it for India, for instance, will be different from the sugarcrete we would make for the UK.
So how much time it takes to create one of the brick of sugarcrete? So what chemicals actually you use for this? Do you use any other chemicals from outside?
We use different things. I mean, some of these ingredients, I don't really say because obviously we're working with partners and, some things are not secret, but, confidential.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. You have to be here all the time when you're innovating something, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing with sugarcrete is that anything that contains this amount sugarcane waste in a way that, and your idea is to lock the carbon that otherwise this waste would have cost.
To lock the carbon, right?
Yes, it is sugarcrete, right? Which means that we can make as many sugarcrete types as you can. We can make it with soil. We can make it with different varieties of things.
So it's not just one sugarcrete.
It's not just one sugarcrete.
So we have a lot of different types.
A lot of different types. And for each ingredient, you can change the formulation and the amounts based on what you want it to do for you in the building. So an entire building can be made entirely of sugarcrete. You can have doors made out of sugarcrete, walls made out of sugarcrete, floor made out of sugarcrete, roofing made out of sugarcrete, but different formulation for each and every application.
So, can you explain me like 5 different types of sugarcretes, which is most important for building the house? So, I like five different things, 5 different sugarcretes.
So
I saw many in the research lab today. That's why insane actually. Like,
there's a lot of cubes. A lot of cubes.
I cannot say it. I just do not remember it. Like, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of different specific sugarcrete blocks in the research lab. What it is all like?
I mean, we do also.
It has specific like ideas and terms and conditions for specific blocks. Does it have?
Yeah. So what we are currently doing is that. So there's myself, and I'm obviously a PhD student, and my role, my PhD, is all about monitoring the thermal performance, operational energy thermal performance, of the building prototype that we built in India, and then compare that with the ones that we will create with the software, essentially. So that's what I'm focusing on. Then you have my colleague Himasara, who is now trying different types of sugarcrete, right? And he's trying to understand the relationship between different types of sugarcrete and the relationship between the formulations.
So what we're gonna give advice to the people to use different types of sugarcrete?
Yeah, so the idea is for him to find an optimal or a few optimal sugarcrete types, ratios that can be used, for instance, as load-bearing column, slab, or trusses, for instance, or just good enough to be insulation because they're not load-bearing, but they're great for insulation. So it depends. It's not even something that we can discuss in an hour. That's why there's a PhD list.
So every part of house having like different blocks of sugarcrete. So for the slab one and also for the walls one, you are inventing that type of sugarcretes for the house, or like only one sugarcrete or
no, they
using
can't be
for the
only
whole
one.
house?
They can't be only one. So for instance, for the one in India, we used the sugarcrete blocks for the walls, and it was just one formula. because those blocks play the same role. That's why. But then if you want to use Sugarcrete for the slab, for example, you would have to change most likely you have to change the formulation, right? To make it be safe, or just safe enough for you to use it as a slab. Or if you want to use it as a side column or anything else, it just needs to be able to do its job properly. That's why it's fantastic. It's an ever-changing material and it's fascinating because really there isn't anything you can't do with it.
Well, what Sugarcane team has achieved still now? What you people achieved?
What we have achieved.
Yeah, what you have achieved by creating this. This innovation is not a joke. Like,
yeah.
So you say this project is like you are creating the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you think about it?
Yes.
Yeah, you're like creating the future housing.
When we started in 2021, I don't think any of us actually thought that it was going to blow and be this big. I think to just summarize everything out, I just think that we've managed to create awareness and to kind of like let at least the population that live in these zones, especially in the, global south, to understand the importance of actually making use of your current resources, waste resources. Do you know one thing I always like to call Sugarcrete? I like to call Sugarcrete the modern vernacular. Vernacular is a local material. So Sugarcrete obviously is kind of like we created this, but it's new and it's a vernacular for those that live in these regions in India because you have it there already.
Yeah.
All you need to do is look around you and find the resources that you have available locally and mix it together to make this. That's why I think it's the local vernacular.
What's your role in Sugarcrete team testing? What role you play in Sugarcrete team? Okay.
So, and I think essentially I'm a researcher.
Okay.
Researcher, and I do a lot of. I'm a researcher, and I'm obviously doing my PhD on the subjects, and the PhD is about monitoring the thermal performance, operational energy of the building prototype that we have designed in India. I enjoy doing a lot of marketing and screaming about Sugarcrete and going on LinkedIn and talking about it, going to different events. And I think it's just something I just like evangelizing, like say.
Yeah.
I just wish that everyone would kind of like see the potential that, for me, it's not just about Sugarcrete, but just see the potential that this philosophy, this way of thinking has, and why we should start embracing this. Why should we look around us and say, right, we have this kind of waste here, can't we convert it into something that we can actually make use of, And a lot of questions that I do get, because obviously you do get a lot of questions about a new product like this. One of them is, will it last? What's the durability? Things like that. Obviously, these are things that you can actually scientifically test. But then besides that, because everything is not about numbers, we scientists always love attaching numbers, as we should, right? But it's also about the way we think and the way we view things, right? I know that in the continent of Africa, I know there are people that still potentially do this, but there's a way, especially those that like to build with vernacular material in a traditional way.
In a new way.
In a traditional way. They like to treat building, there's a ritual that goes with it. Buildings are meant to be kept. They are meant to be kept alive. They are meant to be taken care of. I remember that a few decades ago, like, people like my grandmother, women especially in the communities, they would gather around and paint the walls of the building, or just even apply an extra layer of clay on top of the building, just to make sure that, because obviously things happen within a year or whatever, but just to make sure that the outer layer of the building is kept intact to help the building last as long as possible. So I don't know if in the West we don't have that mentality, but we should adopt the mentality of actually taking care of what matters to us, especially at home. You're not expected to just build a house and, it should last, whatever. We should actually make sure that we take care of our things,
We live in the house. Actually,
Yes.
that's the main important thing in our life, right?
Yeah.
What makes you so proud by doing this SUGARCRETE, by joining this SUGARCRETE team? You love researching by your age, or like by the college, by the university, or like you have a passion to research something from your childhood age, right? What it is?
Honestly, I've always loved learning. I think
You love learning.
I love learning. I think I will. Do you know what? When I was doing my masters is very intense in architecture, particularly. I must say to myself, after my last year of masters, I'm going to take a sabbatic year because I need to rest. Little did I know that within a few months I was going to start a PhD. Like, what? And to be honest, I just think that I can't help it. I just like to learn because I think education is the foundation of any society. I mean, shout out to all the teachers, the mentors, the professors in the whole world. They're so underrated. And I'm just particularly, I'm very proud of what the University of East London has achieved so far. I've seen their growth since 2013, and now they're one of the best universities in the country. It's something to be proud of, and now they've produced this and in the process of doing a lot more.
What makes actually this University of East London so much of this country?
I think it's the connection that you have with the people. I know that in some university it's very hard for a normal student to talk to those at the top.
Yeah.
But for me, I can easily talk to the vice president. And she will listen to me.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the University of East London. You can literally talk to anyone, and everyone will listen to you. Everybody will listen to what you have to say, and I think that's special.
Actually, they support us to grow. Right?
Yes.
What you're saying at the end. So university is supporting us to grow.
Yes.
In a big stage. Yeah.
Yes.
Where did you see SUGARCRETE in the next 5 years, and yourself as a project researcher in next 5 years? Where you can see yourself in there?
I mean, ideally, if everything goes according to the way we are working towards it, the idea is that SUGARCRETE will be used immensely to build affordable housing in the regions where the waste is mainly available. Where do I see myself in the next 5 years, which is quite recent? And I definitely know for sure that most likely 100% I will still be working with the University of East London. I mean, definitely. We will. I mean, this is not a project that you develop and you just leave. SUGARCRETE is not like that. You will still need to keep working on it and developing and making it better. So I will still be working with the SUGARCRETE team. But I think that I'm just naturally interested in waste as a whole. I do go off and do my own personal research on other things besides sugarcane waste, and I do love networking and getting to see what other people out there are doing. And I've seen a lot of amazing people doing really fantastic stuff out there. And I like to pick their brain and kind of like put in the SUGARCRETE research as well to kind of like develop, or maybe I can say to the team, why don't we do this? It seems to be working, I think that I still see myself being in the sustainability. Maybe that will be quite vague. It's going to be vague. I don't know exactly. I know it's going to be a very big umbrella, but definitely within sustainability, either be it sustainability in terms of the community or how the community actually functions, right? I want to bring that within the architecture, my qualification as an architect. So it's just, I need to do something that has to do with sustainability, community building. And for me, community building is not just about building the house. For me, it's a bit bigger, something bigger. It's about actually designing the future of a people. for me, that's what architecture is all about, and I very much want to do that. Maybe I would like to do that in African countries, maybe starting from Nigeria, which is my home country, and then taking it to the rest of the continent and, of course, the rest of the world as well. I see myself being very busy.
Okay, what's the actual goal then? What's the actual goal in your life?
My goal is to leave a mark in the world before departing this world. I just believe that everybody should live a good life. Like, I just don't like the fact that some people are living extremely wealthy, super privileged life, while others are almost dying, I don't think it's fair. I think that we should all have equal opportunities to a decent life. I mean, why not? The resources were created for everyone to use, so I don't see the reason why one person should have everything and the rest not. So I think if I can do something about that, I really want to do something about that. And yeah.
So you're so passionate about yourself, or what you wanna do in your life, right?
I'm very passionate about that. For me, I deeply believe in vocation. I move with vocation, with spirit, with what my higher self tells me. In our culture, we believe in something that we call chi. Chi is like our small god. Like, everybody has their own chi. You're the big god
Chi.
who sees everyone. Yes, it's called chi.
It's a god.
Yeah,
in
and
Africa,
then
right?
in my Igbo culture, my culture is Igbo, and everybody has his own chi. Even siblings have different chi.
So what's your culture defined like?
What's my culture?
Defined like, I don't know about a lot
My
of cultures.
culture, I mean, in Igbo people, we are Christians and Catholics, but then we have Igbo culture that's very, very, it just predates Christianity and all that, and the chi concept has been there for a very long time. That's like my name, Oluchukwu Oluchi. Chi means gods, work of God. That's what my name is.
Your name is connected with God?
Yeah.
You're like a god. You're like a god type. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, like what's the most difficult part of this project? Like, what difficulties did you face while doing this project, or did you face any
Challenges. We did face a lot of challenges.
Yeah,
but
everybody do face
Yes.
challenges, but how do you overcome from the challenges?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges about materials like Sugarcrete, or Sugarcrete in particular, is just changing people's mindset. And to be honest, we're still working on that, and we don't really expect people to embrace the product right now and start building their homes from it, without care. It's not possible, because it's very new, and it's difficult for the construction industry to adopt new materials, even though the construction industry claims that they want to make change in terms of sustainability and save all the carbons and whatever. But the truth is that it's so hard for a new material to penetrate the construction industry. So the biggest challenge is just changing people's mindset, making them understand that this is a safe product. If you build a house with it, it will not collapse. Yes, it's made of fiber, but we have treated it or combined it with material that has made it fire resistant. So is fire resistant to the required extent. So all these things are things that we're still working on. That's why we do several testing, and once we do the testing and it looks good, we will do it again, just to make sure, and just because we have to double check and we have to be sure too, But I think that's just the hardest part. So what we're doing at the moment is just working with the government. We're working with the government. We want to make sure that anything that we do with this product, that the instructions comes from the government, so people can have peace of mind, right? We want to make sure that we have all the certificates, the right certificates in place. In the UK, or India, or Brazil, wherever this product is going to be deployed, we need to make sure that it's in line with what the law says.
How many countries did it reach right now?
I think at the moment we are collaborating with over 15 countries.
15?
In and out with over 15 countries, like globally. And one thing leads to the other. Like we do get a lot of people that visit our lab all the time, and sometimes they come from their country thinking, I love Sugarcrete, I want to do that in my country. And the first thing I ask them is, do you have enough waste?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that you have to think about first.
Yeah.
And then they don't know. And then I have to send them back and say, you have to do research. Yeah, you need to understand the amount of waste that you have. If you want to do this as a business, is it viable? Do you have the quantity? And if you think, okay, maybe you don't have as much, what other agro waste materials do you have that you can use in your own country? In the UK, for instance, we don't have sugarcane, but we can use Haifa. My colleague, Gemma, she is looking into Haifa, and creating something similar, or maybe if it do solution boards or panels with Haifa. So
It's gonna work?
it might work. Why wouldn't it work? It's agro waste. Again, the same philosophy can apply to all the agro waste materials.
Okay.
So yeah,
It's going to work anyways, like.
it will work.
Yeah.
If you want it to work, it will work. You just have to do the research and get the
So
people.
I think so many people will not show interest on the things like what people innovate all the times. I think so. So this is important, right?
Yeah.
So this is the important, like it's like several to bricks. I think so. So that's why it's really important for building the blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why people show a lot of interest. But if someone innovates
Mm-hmm.
product like this again or material like this, I think they're gonna not show interest on it.
Why do you think so?
I think so because people are interested in doing the things always.
Mm-hmm.
They'll show up one time, but they'll never. I'm thinking that. Don't feel bad or don't think any of that. But I think this will be show up.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone creates new thing again
Mm-hmm.
like this, it never gonna be.
New thing using sugarcane waste or another material?
No, another material. I'm talking about another material,
I
not
think-
sugar cane. So
I
this
mean-
gonna work. This gonna work.
This was impressive.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, new materials always excite the media
Yeah.
at the beginning, right?
Exactly.
So it's not about, for us, it's not about exciting the media. We actually want to turn this into something that is viable, that people will use in the location where the waste is available. So if someone makes something again like this, a block, but you use banana, right? Maybe in where they have the banana waste, I think the people that live there will be very much interested, especially if it works, if it's viable for them. They will absolutely be interested. But perhaps someone in the UK, they will care less because they don't have banana here everywhere, But I think interest and viability kind of like go hand in hand. If I can use it, if it can work for me, if it's cheaper, if it's sustainable, if it's safe, I'm interested, And those that are into business, wow, they will grab it.
Okay. I love the sugar grade. I think it's not just a new product. It feels like new way of thinking. I think. Do you think this could inspire other industries, or like stop seeing waste as waste? Like they'll look you can show up industries that this is a waste. Like you can use this waste as also like a product, like a material in this realistic world.
Yeah.
So do you ever think that like that?
Honestly, I think that at the moment, everyone, that's an absolute statement, but I think most companies are trying to integrate sustainability as much as they can in their day-to-day activities, in their products, and whatnot. I know, for instance, in concrete, for instance, in the making of concrete, they might want to replace a part of cement or, carbon-intensive materials with something that's probably a byproduct like fly ash, for instance, to reduce the amount of carbon-intensive product that you're using, so that way they're doing their own sustainable bit, that way, even though they're still producing cement. Everyone is trying, whether the efforts they're putting in towards sustainability is going to make a big impact. That's something I don't know if I can answer to that. But talking for Sugarcrete, I know that the impact that we are making by transforming this waste into building blocks or insulation panels or whatever it is, I think is massive.
I noticed a lot of emerging sustainable materials still face skepticism in the from regulators and builders, right? Do you ever think that?
Yes, they do. And like I was saying before, it's the construction industry. It's very hard to penetrate that. It's very hard for a new material to penetrate that, and it's in a way it's very sad. You know, I understand. I can see both point of views. I mean, as an architect, you are taught to make sure that you know what your role is as an architect. You know, just in case when it comes to the time that someone will have to be blamed for something that goes wrong, at least you know that you did your best, where you have to do your best. So it's almost like everybody's scared, you know, and nobody wants to use something that will cause the building to fall or to burn, and then everything, you know, points at you, you know. But I might just be, what I was saying now, I might just be coming from a point of naivety or just not knowing enough. But I have my own little bit of criticism to make towards the bodies that regulate, you know, building rights and all these people. And I'm not trying to criticize because I know they're already doing a fantastic job and everything, and it's not easy. But I mean, can't we come together and decide on a system, talking about system where buildings that are approved and that are new can easily be assimilated in the system in the construction industry? Because otherwise, how will these materials ever have a chance of making a difference?
Yeah.
You know, otherwise we just talking and talking in a circle and nothing is ever done. We have meeting upon meeting about sustainability and carbon footprint, but then nothing ever really changed. We keep using the old materials and no one wants to do something about it. So should we have a body? Should we have a list of products that the government says, okay, these are new products, but they've been tested and they've passed UK regs. You can actually go and use them now. Like, should we have something like that? You know, should we? I don't know. I don't want anyone to come and attack me.
It's not going to be happy. It's so hard, but no one makes it like that. If you completed the research, what's your next move? Like?
So the research that is still ongoing, I haven't completed it, and my PhD is not completed yet. I'm still on my second year.
So after your PhD, what's your next move?
What's my next move?
Yeah, after research, after completing of SUGARCRETE completely, it's gonna be famous. It's
Yes.
gonna be distributed all over this world. After that, what you gonna do?
I think, well, with Sugarcrete's project is still very much research. So it's not a company. Yeah.
Unpredictable.
I don't know what we're going to do, but Sugarcrete project, it's still an SRI product, research product.
How many days it gonna take still to complete this all over the project? How many months or years for it?
It's not really about completing because the product is here. We've done so many already. I think it's more, there are stages and phases that need to be followed.
Okay.
For instance, we have done the research phase, which is still ongoing, and the product is being tested, and we just need to, and some testing, like fire testing, have been done and it's passed there and all that. So we're going towards the stage of commercialization, I would say, where we really want this to be viable. We want this to be in the market, for people to actually start using it. That's what we want, and that's what I'm excited to look at towards.
I love this product, this material. It's so good.
Yes.
It's so lighter than.
It's very light, but
yeah.
this is heavier than that one, even though they're both Sugarcrete.
Okay.
But
This contains both different chemicals.
different compositions, yes.
Okay.
Different composition and probably different pressure too, and different liquid components as well.
This everything.
And that's what I was telling you about, having the same Sugarcrete but different. So that's more suitable for insulation, for instance, and this is better for load bearing.
Okay. It's a bit smoother.
It's smooth as well.
Yeah.
This is rougher. You can see all the textures and the fibers. Both of them are interlocking, and we designed it that way.
It's smooth.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. And this is so rough.
The sugars were different.
That one is more load bearing than this one. This is better for insulation because of the gaps and it's just more spongy.
Okay. And so what did you do?
These are still SUGARCRETE, but they have a different composition in there.
Is it
That's
SUGARCRETE?
the bagasse.
Okay, this is the
That's the
bagasse.
dry bagasse. That's the actual waste.
Okay,
That has not been mixed with anything.
you're doing this from this.
So that from that, yes. We are mixing this with something
This
chemicals.
you're mixing
and make that.
mixing something in this.
Mm-hmm.
So and it will become like this.
Or like that, or like that, or like that, or like that.
Okay. Okay, this everything is like everything is sugar.
yeah. It's
Oh my god. Even this?
Yeah, that's SUGARCRETE. Yes, that's actually part of the panels that were made by our students earlier this year's construction week. We actually exhibited that during Milan Design Week, this year's Milan Design Week, and it went really well. I think the design week had about
You just designed it? Your team designed it?
the team
Students. Okay.
the team designed that.
Okay.
We did that in collaboration with Bagaceria, which is a Spanish-based company that does beautiful artwork furniture, like.
You did it for showing how strong it is?
We did, these are acoustic panels.
Okay.
So we with Julia from Bagaceria and obviously our students and our more, we wanted to test the acoustic capabilities of SUGARCRETE, and they proved to be quite good. We're still testing these, but it's promising.
That's great. It's interesting, yeah. It's a smooth. This is a hard one. This is a smooth one, right?
Yeah.
So you have different types of like this.
We have different types
How
of
many types do you have? Like many types?
many types. We have many types.
Yeah. That all having specific
Role that they would
Role?
play in the building, yes.
You want me to ask anything about yourself? Like you want to show up anything? It should be interesting. Like we can have 15 minutes. So good. You want to say something? Just feel free. It's yours. It's your hand.
You know, sometimes you've got to be careful because I wanted to say something about the university kind of like embracing more projects like this, but I think I'll read it.
Okay.
It's just too political.
What you're actually proud of this project?
I think for me, this project needs a lot more than the sustainability or environmental aspects that we are looking at, you know, locking the carbon, making use of waste and creating blocks or building materials. For me, it's also empowerment. It needs empowerment because if you go in these regions where sugarcane is grown, maybe sugarcane is grown for 8 months in a year, something like that. So not for the whole year. And what happens is that for the rest of the year, when sugarcane is not harvested, the farmers will be unemployed, right? So, and obviously, if they're unemployed, they're not making any money to sustain their families.
Yeah.
But the thing with SUGARCRETE is that if we implement that circular economy where the waste is being used to create this, you still keep those farmers in employment. And that's the beauty of it. So imagine, you know, a woman that is the breadwinner or, you know, or an elderly couple, or just, they can keep supporting themselves by making these bricks, these blocks that are then used to build the homes that they and their family can easily use, you know. I think it's just, I find it very, very empowering. I think that's probably the shining star to me for project.
What's the reason it's still not showing out of this world? Or what's the reason? Do you think it's a social media? The reason is social media that never showing up to this world?
I think in terms of social media,
What I think is people never show up this type of things to this world. What really nonsense. I really got this in my brain many times. So people never show up what's important in this life. If someone posts a reel or like unwanted content, so they're gonna scroll it to 100 times. They don't want to see this, and they don't want to like.
I mean, to be honest with you, this, for being quite, you know, we have actually obtained with this product has been viewed by millions of people.
Yeah.
There's a guy, Sam Bentley, on Instagram that I think he obtained about over 4 million views on this on Instagram alone.
Yeah.
And then hundreds of thousands everywhere. And that's with other companies or accounts that posted about SUGARCRETE. I think SUGARCRETE, we have been, the university and the team has done an excellent job in promoting SUGARCRETE. We've done not so many awards, which I'll talk about later. But let's just focus on the issue about social media and you thinking that it is not getting enough attention as it should.
Yeah. It should be get attention because it's very realistic. It's very it's one of the ideology. I think so. It should come out.
I think attention-wise, I think we were quite lucky that we got quite a lot of attention. Obviously, you can always get more, but then, you know, how many people in social media, let's take Instagram for instance, know about sustainability or construction? How many people actually believe that there's a sustainability crisis, climate crisis? You know, there are people that think that all this is greenwashing.
Yeah.
There are people that believe that this isn't true, that, you know, the carbon release isn't really caused by us, or, you know, that it's all meant to happen anyway. That this makes no sense. You know, should just continue with concrete. It doesn't matter. No, I mean, everyone is free to think what they want, but definitely not. And besides, this is real problem. We're talking about real waste. So even if you don't know anything about numbers and CO2 and carbon footprint, this and that, you have a gigantic pile of waste. If you're from India, in your backyard, and you're breathing the air, like, you don't need to be a genius to know that that's not good. And to know that this is an excellent solution. Right? Okay, so social media or not, for me, as long as the government embrace it, as long as the right people embrace it, it's fine. We don't care about going viral, although we have gone viral. But it's not about that. It's about the right people implementing this, the right industry stakeholders understanding that this is good.
Yeah.
For me, if the government understands it and they put out the regulations and this is accredited and accepted in the community and people can start using it, that's a win for me. That's what I want. I think that's what we want as a team.
Yeah.
Yes. And besides, we've won already so many awards. I think one of the biggest ones that we won is the Times Higher Education, the Knowledge Exchange Award. We won this on the 28th of November last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's like winning the Oscar, you know, in education.
Oh my God.
It's huge. It's massive, you know. So it's impressive. I remember when I was presenting it in May to the editor-in-chief, John Jill. That was May 2024, last year. And it was just, I was shaking, but oh my God, I don't want to mess up everything. But then the presentation flew, and he was just so impressed with everything that the university and the team has achieved. You know, and in terms of knowledge exchange side, I think that's why I think the university is doing so well. We are so good at exchanging knowledge with other universities, with institutions, with industry stakeholders. It's just something that we enjoy doing. Creating workshops, keep doing it. We just had a workshop in June with LFA, London Festival of Architecture. This is just something that we love to do as individuals and as a team, you know. And no, it's incredible, honestly.
I'm waiting for the effective question. I have many lot questions, but I'm seeing the words effective question. The more I read about SUGARCRETE, the more it feels like it's not just about building. I heard whispers about furniture, public spaces, even emergency housings. Go way beyond what people expect. In your mind, how far do you actually dream this material can go?
I'm very ambitious. Very ambitious. So I think that SUGARCRETE can... I think SUGARCRETE team can achieve anything they want to achieve. And I'm not saying this, I'm not looking at SUGARCRETE and telling people, okay, don't use steel, use SUGARCRETE instead. It doesn't work that way. They're not trying to substitute materials with SUGARCRETE. What we're trying to say is that whenever you can, use SUGARCRETE, because it makes no sense. That's just what we're saying. But if you ask me, where do I see this material being, I see it being a nice sofa, furniture, table, countertop, kitchen. not just block. It can be a lot more. It can be a lot more. It's just about having the right partners that are willing to venture on a new kind of project.
You're literally creating like future Sugarcrete.
This is a matter.
Yeah.
View this, I know it looks like a brick, but view this as a matter, as an element that you can then mold into whatever you want. This is how I see Sugarcrete.
You can do everything with Sugarcrete, right?
Almost.
In the future, yeah.
Almost.
Almost, so.
Yeah, I think this thing was really nice.
Yeah, still know how to innovate the new things into this life, into this world. Sorry.
It's just
Okay.
wonderful to always speak about Sugarcrete and my wonderful.
Even I want to encourage this sort of Sugarcrete to this world, for coming to this world. So even I want to make distributions even if I have chance use for the Sugarcrete. So it's so huge and it's so massive innovation you people had, and you people are insane for real, for real, because you're saving literally a million tons of CO2 potentially, right? Yeah, that feels so good, mainly, yeah, because you're saving the nature, yeah, and hope you guys will be reach in a top rated place for innovating this, and this product will reach every small country and every big country in this world in next few months. And I was saying, because hard work pays off. Exactly, right? So I think it's gonna be a great product in this world. If I have chance to like promote it or like showing this out, I'll absolutely I'm doing this, and I love for innovating this, and I love really this University of East London doing these things. I'll always be on University of East London top one. And thank you so much for having the podcast, and you guys gonna be break the record in next few months by sending this product to every country, and all the best. Congratulations mainly for creating this
Thank you.
good material, and have a nice day.
Thank you so much for having me.